Welcome to Port Orleans Riverside. This is one of my favorite resorts. I have stayed here probably the most out of any resort, so it's like home away from home. So let's jump in and let's start the tour. As we walk through the front doors, we come into the main lobby. And if you like what we're doing, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It costs you nothing, but it helps the channel out tremendously, and we really do appreciate it. So off to the right is registration. And this is a beautiful registration area. And we are close to check-in time, so it is busy in here. Across is the River Roost. This is a lounge and bar. It is not open yet this evening, but there is a guy that performs here named Yeehaw Bob, who is hilarious. If you get a chance, you don't have to be staying here to come and watch. He plays piano, tells jokes, sings silly songs. It is right here, and I highly recommend checking him out. I'll have to find his times. I know he's off a couple nights a week, but he performs just about every night, and he is awesome. Right next door to that is the gift shop. This is probably one of the better decorated gift shops. Not very many gift shops have animatronics in them, but this one does. Like always, we'll just go in and check out the resort-specific merchandise. We won't spend a lot of time on the stuff you can get everywhere at every park and every resort. But animatronic-wise, I was talking about. There's Huey, Dewey, and Louie. There's Mickey's nephews pumping the steam, which is then blowing in Goofy's face and knocking him off his ladder. As far as resort merchandise goes, we have a Riverside polo. Since this is part of Port Orleans, just Riverside, they do have some of the same Port Orleans stuff from the French Quarters. You got the beignet all day. You got fish the day away at Port Orleans. That's because there is a fishing hole at this resort, which I'll show you guys when we get around there. So Riverside sweater, very nice. Some Tiana stuff, because again, this is Port Orleans. They have these awesome, they look like old tin mugs, but they are ceramic, Returvis style cups with the Port Orleans, and then your metal water bottles. Bag, Port Orleans Riverside. And another t-shirt. They don't have a lot of resort-specific merchandise here, as in some of the other resorts do, but they do have a little. Back in the lobby, let's head down this hall to food and drink. This is another entrance here to the River Roost where Yeehaw Bob would perform. It's kind of where we were standing. You can just get to it from this hallway. Because this is a moderate resort, it does have a table service meal, or table service restaurant. It's called Boatwright's Dining Hall, and they are building a boat. Not really, it's just part of the decor. But I want to try this out. It opens at 5 o'clock every night, and it has this all-you-care-to-enjoy bayou feast. It's ribs, Cajun chicken, sausage, I mean, you name it. It's got everything on it. And it's, I think, $37 for all you care to enjoy. And that is the Boatwright Dining Hall. Now coming in here, this is your food court. It is massive, tons of seating. Probably not, well, no, it probably is just as big as some of the value resorts. And they offer same thing, like fast food type stuff, burgers, pizza, chicken tenders. They do have some healthier options like grilled chicken and salmon, but then they also have the Cajun options that you find at Port Orleans French Quarters, which would be the shrimp and grits, and they have a po' boy, some gumbo, and jambalaya if you're in for a little Cajun food. Going out the back of the lobby, you have boat transportation to Disney Springs, which is what you see in front of us here. Some of them will go straight to Disney Springs. Some of them will stop at Port Orleans French Quarter, so you just have to look at the color flags on the front to know where it's going. They also do, I don't know what you call them. I guess you could drop it in the comments below if you know, but these little four-wheeled bikes they have down here, you can rent them here and drive them around both Port Orleans resorts. There's pathways connecting them all. And of course, like every Disney resort, it has an arcade, and it is down here. As a bonus to this resort, every night starting at maybe it's 5:30, 5 or 5:30, they do horse-drawn carriages around the perimeter of the river and back over the bridge. It starts right here in front of Boat Right Hall. It's the same as kind of what's at the campground. It's $65 for 4 adults, or I think it's 2 adults and 3 kids. And it is the horses they bring over from the campground, which we explored. And if you want to see that video, I will try to link it somewhere in here so you can check out how the horses at Disney live and where they live, because you can go visit them at any time. Here is a map of this massive resort. It also includes French Quarters down here, which we've already done a tour of. And I'll try to link a card to it somewhere in here when I figure out how that happens. But we started here in the lobby and we're back here now. And we're going to show you the island where the pool is, the pool bar, and the fishing hole. And then I'm going to bring you guys way around here because there is a story that goes along with how these buildings are decorated and why they're decorated the way they are. So I'm going to walk that huge trail to give you guys a story and show you how it works out. The main pool is on this island, but I wanted to point out that if you didn't want to walk all the way to this main pool, each little section has its own pool. They're not themed like the main pool is, but if you just want to go for a quick swim after a day at the park, you don't have to ludge all the way back into the island. You can if you want, but you don't have to. Coming along the other way on the back boardwalk, this is the back side of Boat Right's dining hall. As you can see, it's got the huge doors as if they could put boats and ships out of it and then launch them into the river here. So the story continues. This is the outside of the food court we were in, the Riverside Mill. And this resort has an island in the middle of it, similar to the Caribbean Beach Resort, except this resort's pool is on the island. Here is the pool. Being that it is a moderate resort, it does have a water slide. Has a lot of fun water features. You can see the slush coming down and spitting water out everywhere that you can swim under and over. Little recreation area. Hot tub, hammocks. As we keep coming along the island here, it circles back around to the pool bar. They do have snacks. Here it is. It is called Muddy Rivers. And it's got a lot of nice outdoor seating. It's a very nice resort. I was wrong on the menu, by the way. They do just have snacks here. So like bags of chips, things of that nature. Here's another look at the pool from the deck. On the back side, they have some foosball and a playground. And this is all on the island. And we're not even done with the island. We got to go around to the fishing hole. I don't know if the fishing hole is open right now. I can show you where the entrance is. And you can see the dock here. This is where you would fish. Just around the corner from it is the entrance to the fishing hole. Catch bass and brim at the fishing hole. Tell the folks back home about the one that got away. And it looks like they are open till 1:45. $6.39 per half hour per pole. You're gonna do a whole family for $15.98. That is pretty cool. Like all the Disney resorts, there are activities. So you can look and see that the fishing hole is located on here, that the bike rentals are, the arcades listed, of course Mickey Tie-Dye, the campfire, backyard bash, Fun Under the Stars, the movie, and there is a note up at the top here that says, as guest of Disney's Port Orleans Resort Riverside, you can participate in all the activities at French Quarters also. So remember that. If there's anything you see that you want to do at French Quarters, you're more than welcome to hop on the boat and do that also. For point of reference, down the river this way, just under that bridge, is Port Orleans French Quarters. And this way, across this bridge, goes to the back side of the food court bellhop area. Now, the story with these buildings is that as they were building these homes and buildings along the river, coming from the city of New Orleans down that way, it got harder and harder to get supplies back into the bayou as we continue down the river to the other buildings. So these are the first buildings. You can see what's made to resemble like marble at the bottom, wrought iron work, a lot of brick, fountains. And this resort has something different also. It has princess rooms. So Tiana has her own rooms here where friends came and stayed, and you can see their flags. There's Belle's flag, Tiana's flag, and they all left her gifts in there. You'll see like magic carpets, you'll see pictures of the princesses, and they are in these buildings, the ones closest to the city. They got decorated the best. And as we make our way further into the bayou, you'll see that it was harder and harder to get supplies. And I'll just let you see how the buildings progress as you get further and further back. We are now entering the Oak Manor buildings. So if you notice on these buildings, there's no more marble. We still have the wrought iron work. We still have bricks. We still have pillars. Smaller fountain, more trees, less lawn because we're getting further into the bayou. And this building is directly across from the food court and registration, but you do either have to walk down to that bridge or cross the island. And like I said, a little less fancy as we keep going back, but beautiful nonetheless. As we enter the Magnolia section, notice that the majority of your brickwork is now gone. No fountain, a gazebo, still beautiful grounds, nice pathway. But the brickwork and wrought iron work now has disappeared as it gets harder and harder to get supplies back through the bayou. You can see we still do have some pillars, although not as elaborate as the pillars that were in the other buildings. This building, however, is directly across from one of the entrances to the Old Man Island that takes you right to the pool. Now, just because the things are changing on the outside does not mean the rooms are changing. Rooms are still beautiful. Welcome to the Acadian house. No brickwork again. Notice that the woodwork for the railings has become less elaborate. Notice that the pillars, it still has them, but they're square now, not rounded. There is a little bit of brick on the chimneys, but it's getting harder and harder to get supplies back in the bayou. We're starting to enter the Alligator Bayou section, which is the section that curves around the rest of Old Man Island. The buildings do keep changing though, but now we are officially, for the resort, back in the bayou. You do see a little bit of brick return here, but there are no pillars. Woodwork is a little simpler. You're just wood slat shutters, painted brown. You've got more of a bayou type fill. You're on the back side of the island here. You can't see the pool. You are just in nature. The next set of Alligator Bayou buildings. You can see, again, no brick, very simple slats, no real decorations, less color in the buildings. The shutters are now more of a reddish. And this is our second to last set of buildings. So you can see these shutters have slats in them. And in our last set of buildings, they are just solid pieces of wood with a hinge to let you pull them in if you needed to during a storm. Decoration only, of course. When we get up here, you'll be able to see them a little better. Now, I don't know if I mentioned, but this resort has the one bus stop that is right outside the, oh, there's the shutters I was talking about. Has the one bus stop that is right outside the main entrance, and it has 3 others. This resort is huge, so you don't have to walk all the way back. You can get on a bus closer to you. As you make your way around the corner from the last set of Alligator Bayou buildings, even though they are the least decored, this set is right at the entrance to the food court. So you cannot go wrong with that. You can enter right there and you'll be right in the side of the food court. Cut through to the lobby, to the front buses, to the gift shop. It's a great location. When we'd stay at this resort, I would never, well, in the mornings when it felt good outside, I would never cut through the food court to get to the lobby. I would always take this boardwalk because it's just pretty, especially in the morning when it's kind of cool and all the birds are out. And once we pass this corner, it'll take us right back to where we started. Well, guys, that does it for our tour of Port Orleans Riverside. Love this place. It's huge. Did a lot of walking to get all those buildings. If you ever look at a map of this place, it is huge. If you get a chance to come down here, it's great. It is located, it's considered a Disney Springs resort because I guess that's its closest attraction. That's where you can take the boat to. But it is also a short ride to Magic Kingdom. So it's a great location. It's set back. You don't feel like you're in the middle of Disney. You feel like you can relax here. So I'm glad you toured it with me. I'm glad I got to show you. If you have any questions, just let me know. And as always, if you have time and you enjoy what we're doing here, please like and subscribe. Costs nothing, helps us out tremendously. And we'll Disney again soon. Bye, guys.